Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well because today we're talking about music, and today we're doing another ranking of the discography. Today we're going to look at Kingston, Ontario's Bedouin Soundclash. They met while in attendance at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. They've been a trio with different touring members, a few members in and out, but the central duo really, and then trio has been at its core. For those of you who don't know, what did Bedouin Soundclash sound like? What kind of music did they play? It's predominantly, I guess you could say, roots reggae, but that doesn't feel fair. It's folky. There's a lot of folk influence. There's a lot of power pop and kind of folk pop influence in there. There's a lot of different genres, and a lot of their albums too kind of focus more on one aspect or the other. Maybe one's a bit more rocky, one is a bit more, ska or reggae or rootsy, some are more folky. It's a really cool discography. They've got 6 albums, and we're going to kind of go through all of them today. And similar to some other artists, when I've talked about their discographies, there's not a bad album in the bunch. I would say, listen to how I kind of preface each one, because I'm a big fan of reggae music, or roots music, ska music, but I know not everyone is. But I think this could be a good gateway band, especially a couple of these albums I'm going to talk about. They really take that sound and kind of venture elsewhere with it. So if you're into more folk music, if you're into more kind of roots music, this is definitely a band to check out. So with that, we've always got the duo, like I mentioned. So you have Jay Malinowski, who's on vocals and guitar, who has a very distinctive vocal style, and Alan Sinclair on bass. Those are kind of the two that have been central to the band. You have Chuck Trees on drums. You've also had Pat Pangali. You've had Sekou Lumumba, also in Big Wreck, and Vincent Spilchek, who have kind of all had drum duties at some point or another. So let's get into the discography. Again, no bad albums here. You could start here and be totally happy. We're going to start with the self-titled, self-released debut. This is called Root Fire from 2001, funded by the band. It's really, really good. It definitely more kind of, reggae roots inspired. It has that debut feeling that a lot of really good bands have. And does that mean it's a little disorganized, a little scattershot? Sure, a little bit. They're kind of figuring out what works as a sound, but it has that magic too. If you've ever, seen your favorite local bands that are really onto something, they put out an album and you're like, yeah, this is unique. We're onto something here, and that magic is on this album. Highlights for me are Rebel Rouser, Back to the Matter, and Santa Monica. Santa Monica in particular is a really nice folk tune. Again, people hear reggae, get turned off. People hear the word ska, get turned off. But this is a band really to check out. So starting of their 6 album discography with their debut, number 6. Great album. Next, this might be the folkiest album that the band has. So I think if you're more into that folk style of music, kind of the quieter aspects, this is the one to check out. This is from 2010 on Pirate Blend Records, Light to the Horizon. Now this one is kind of hard because some of my absolute favorite Bedouin Soundclash songs are on this album, but it doesn't really feel incredibly consistent all the way through. It's a little bit quieter, a little more subdued, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I think some of the other albums are a little more dynamic in terms of how they explore the genre. But if you're into something a little more quiet, a little calmer, they even talk about how this album is inspired by the artwork here. Kind of, just a very calm sunrise and nature. And my favorite tracks, in particular, Mountaintop and Ilongo. Ilongo especially has a beautiful chorus. It's this whole album is very lush as well, really nice production. So if you're into the folkier aspect of music, check out Light the Horizon. It's a great one. It could be too that the album, it's just over 30 minutes, so it doesn't overstay its welcome, but at 30 minutes, you do kind of want every track to be a hit. Next up, we're going with another one. It's an album I really, really love from them, Street Gospels. 2007, this is their 3rd album. There we go, show off the back. Fun fact, they actually wrote a lot of these tunes during the kind of creation of another album I'm going to talk about later, but the record label pressured them to put out the other album first, which is interesting. I feel like this one has more kind of pop reggae, like almost like a Paul Simony feel to it. So it's weird that they would have gone with the other one first, but it worked. We'll talk about some of their hits. Um, this is a really, really good album, but I do feel it's very front heavy. A lot of the great tunes on here are kind of at the very beginning. So you do have some more of like the poppy rock reggae tunes like Until We Burn, In the Sun, and then Walls Fall Down. But then St. Andrews, that's actually another one of my favorite Bedouin Soundclash songs, St. Andrews. Then you have like really calm, quiet songs again. You've got 1259 Lullaby, Higher Ground, Nico on the Night Train is kind of fun. It sounds like a night train. I like that one a lot. Um, Again, it's just sort of very dynamic. But I think why this one isn't in my top three or one of my favorites is because, yeah, a lot of it's just not quite as consistent as what we get on later releases. So that was 2007. Next up, 2017. This is one of their albums I have on vinyl, so I gotta get that out. This one is called, or 2019, sorry, called Mass. This is a really cool album. When it first came out, I wasn't sure what to think of it because it still sounds like the band. It sounds like Bedouin Soundclash, but it's so much bigger. Production-wise, it's massive, but even they're using a lot of Southern vocal and gospel harmonies, so they have choirs in the songs, um, lots of big choruses, a lot of brass. There's brass throughout the album, and you know they've always got session musicians and touring musicians, but the brass and keyboards are central on this album as well. It's just such a really, really big song. If you're into marimba, you know, Afro pop, just taking, you know, where roots music can go and blending it with roots music from across the globe with that classic Bedouin Soundclash sound. This is just a great album. Saltwater is a good tune. Clockwork is a good tune. I think my favorite ones are Clockwork, They Gutted the City, and All Tomorrows. Those are all great songs. But yeah, just like Light the Horizon would be like a folkier one. This would be if you're into that more kind of yeah, maybe Paul Simon roots kind of world sound. Check out Mass from 2019. All right, top two albums. This one is kind of the one that made them big, Sounding a Mosaic. Their big hit, if you've never heard it, but if you're in Canada, you've certainly heard When the Night Feels My Song. That was played at, you know, sports stadiums all around. I think it's actually in like an EA Sports FIFA game, maybe, or something like that. Yeah, so When the Night Feels My Song, a nice kind of like upbeat ska, or not ska, reggae track. Shelter is great, Living in Jungles. Money Worries with a Vernon Maytone. I like that one a lot. I think my favorite ones, though, are Rude Boy, Don't Cry. But yeah, When the Night Feels My Song, just a classic tune from them. And this one, again, they wrote these tracks during the same time as, can't think of it, Street Gospels, yeah, during the same period. Street Gospels does feel a lot more polished, and this one does feel more kind of rootsy. So it's interesting that the record label would have pressured them to go with the kind of rootsier gamble first, but it worked out. Oh, Geezer Went Home. That's the track I was looking at. That's a really good one on here too. This one, like very similar to Street Gospels, but a little more consistent across the whole board. And it's got a couple like a break dub remix as well, which is a lot of fun. And finally, my favorite album from the band is actually their latest album, which is sort of what inspired me after I heard this. I was like, oh, I need to tell people about this band. This is We Will Meet in a Hurricane from 2002. There's the show off the back. This just feels like a complete album. I don't know how better to put it. It feels like they're taking the best elements of their kind of roots reggae, of their folk work, of their pop rock work, of their kind of genre bending stuff. And it just works so well on here. Like every track on here is fantastic. We Will Meet in a Hurricane, just a really heartfelt track. And then Walk Through Fire, I really like. That's a nice kind of upbeat ska song featuring Amy Interrupter from the Interrupters. So if you're a fan of the Interrupters, check that one out. Longer Days and Shorter Years, that's just got a super catchy chorus. A lot of these songs have great choruses. What else we got? Beyond Four Walls, I really like. Something Lost and Something Found is another really catchy chorus tune. Very similar to Walk Through Fire, but different. Good, good. Shine On, featuring the band The Skints, UK kind of reggae group who are also quite big right now. I'm just going to list all the tracks. Hard Road is great. Into the Black, A Torn Jacket with Silver Lining, I really like. That's one of those quieter, more subdued numbers. But I think if you're going to check out any of their albums, unless you know you're super into folk, do the Horizon album. If you're super into kind of big brass and big choruses, check out Mass. But if you want to hear the best version of the band, the best version of what they can do, check out We Will Meet in a Hurricane. It's a fantastic album from a fantastic band. And like I said, they've got 6 albums. I don't think they're showing signs of slowing down, but I just want to talk about this band. They're kind of one of those bands that I don't think enough people know about. So hopefully this will inspire some people to check it out. But yeah, let me know what you think. Check out some of their tracks and let me know what you think. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.